Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my amazing viewers, wherever you are watching from. Welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Now, Bayo Nonoga, the Special Assistant to Mr. President on Information and Strategy, has made a shocking revelation to Nigerians. You see, the push to replace Kesim Shettima intensifies, and we are hearing talks that some northern candidates are already lining up ahead of the 2027 to be picked as a VP candidate to Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Now, Bayo Nonuga has said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will choose his 2027 running mate after the next convention of the All Progressive Congress. Bayo Nonuga disclosed this in an interview with Daily Trust following the speculation about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's alleged plan to drop Kashim Shettima as his running mate for the 2027 election. Now, this speculation recently sparked a controversy when some speakers at the APC Stakeholders Summit in Gombe endorsed President Tinubu for a second term without mentioning Kashim Shettima, and all hell was let loose. Some people there were seen carrying chairs, they were fighting. In fact, the event turned out to be chaotic. Some delegates were quite pissed over Kashim Shettima's that his name was not mentioned during the endorsement, that it was obvious that his name was deliberately omitted during that event. So when asked about the presidency, Bayo Ononuga dismissed the issue and noted that Tinubu will make this revelation known, after the APC's convention, after the next convention of the APC, is going to expose, or he's going to reveal to Nigerians who will be his vice presidential candidate for the 2027 election. But at this point, a lot of people are speculating that they are not sure if Kashim Shettima would be Tinubu's running mate in 2027, because it's obvious that they are sidelining him. Let's not forget that before now, they've called Kashim Shettima a spare tire, that he's a spare tire in Tinubu's government, and insider sources have revealed the growing division over the future of the Vice President Kashim Shettima ahead of the 2027 election. Now, this conflict, which led to chaos during an event, is now being linked to the power struggles within the zone, particularly among governors and stakeholders going for influence over who should be the next vice presidential candidate to Tinubu in the next election. And according to some credible party sources, some APC governors and some northern leaders are quietly, opposing Kashim Shettima's return ticket. And their opinion is reportedly based on the concerns over the controversial Muslim ticket, which they described as Shettima's lack of political vibrancy. So we are hearing that they are going to choose another vice presidential candidate, but it will be a Christian vice presidential candidate. Like, Tinubu won't be using the Muslim ticket anymore. He's going to be using the Muslim Christian ticket in 2027. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? But now efforts to push all these things are beginning to show, because guys, we saw what happened when they failed to endorse Kashim Shettima. This is no ordinary endorsement. Now the question is, who would Tinubu choose to be his running mate in 2027? Who would Tinubu choose? Because he's yet to decide who he would pick. Bayo Ononuga have said, see, they are going to reveal this to Nigerians. They did not even tell us that Kashim Shettima will have a chance at coming back, but I don't know. But obviously, there is no rift between Tinubu and Shettima. There is no rift for now between Tinubu and Shettima. I don't think there is any troubles between the both of them, aside the fact that Tinubu is obviously sidelining him in the affairs of his government. Tinubu visited Benue State. He did not get to the main community where the unfortunate incident took place. He would have, sent his vice, Kesim Shettima, to go there. But he did not send his vice. He went there alone. So what message does that send? It is sending a message that Tinubu is directly sidelining Kesim Shettima. And there are some Christian northern politicians who are also rallying to replace Kesim Shettima. They are lobbying. The lobbying is ongoing because at this point, consultations have already begun ahead of 2027 who would be Tinubu's running mate. So guys, what are your thoughts on this?
Another thing where they like to cause another big problem for that APC. Now this Shettima where Tinubu they plan to play, so it go cause another big problem. And I know say last week they nearly beat APC national chairman Ganduje. They nearly beat her for Gombe State. They went there for stakeholders meeting. They said they are giving Tinubu the sole candidacy to run under APC for presidency, but they're not called Shettima name. They just leave only Tinubu for the race. May they run alone. The next question people are asking is, who will be vice? Okay, don't use Shettima and win presidential election now. You want drop out for road. Anyway, this morning on China's television, the National Secretary of APC said something. He said, the National Secretary of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Ajibola Bashiru, says President Bola Tinubu enjoys an overwhelming endorsement from party stakeholders to run for re-election in 2027. But discussions for the choice of his running mate are not on the table yet. Bashir, a former Senate spokesman, said Tinubu's running mate will be decided after the party's convention, which is usually held about 1 year to the general elections. As far as we are concerned, the national summit held in the presidential villa has endorsed Mr. President based on his track record, and a large spectrum of stakeholders in our party have also overwhelmingly given endorsement to Mr. President, the lawyer said on Channel Television, the Morning Brief program on Friday. The question of running mate is not yet on board, and nobody has come to say that the president has made any advanced decision as regards the present vice president. On Sunday, 15th of June 2025, a summit for APC stakeholders from Nigeria's northeast geopolitical zone became rowdy in Gombe State after APC Northeast Vice Chairman Mustafa Salihu named Tinubu as the party's sole candidate for re-election without mentioning Vice President Kashim Shettima. Now we say Percy they do prophecy of doom, but this next election Tinubu feel loser. Forget. You are only as powerful as the people behind you. Major stakeholders will help and enter presidency now that they quarrel with you. You have quarreled with Erufai. Now you are about quarreling with Shettima. Why do they not want Shettima to be the vice president? Although no, Shettima be like ghost worker for that presidency. You see, one of the most useless positions to occupy in politics is vice and deputy. That position is useless. You are as good as how your Oga wants you to be. If the president does not want you to do anything, he no give you any project do. And you could be like ghost worker. If our first lady get power past vice president, if you look reality for a book, vice president get power past first lady, but reality, will be vice president. Deputy governor, now, how many of them know the deputy governor of Lagos? How many of them know the Delta State deputy governor? Those of us from Delta State, how many of us know the deputy governor of Delta State? If governor not give you work, what do you want to do? If governor not put stuff for your parastatal or in your coffers, what do? You have to be doing eye service, they bow down follow up so that they no go sideline you for the government. Because this government should be like say don't sideline Kashim Shettima. We know this here. When that issue happened for Benue State, if the president said he's too busy, he could have sent Kashim Shettima. He not send her. All this waka where wicked the waka so with the Kai president waka now Tinubu they do everything. Kashim Shettima not really there. I say now goes to worker. The last time I say and when they go for the shop, go measure clothes. You not get that thing when they do for this country. But in Northerners, I begin to have a lot of problem with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Maybe he's looking for somebody else from the north who is powerful enough. that can command their votes enough. Tinubu is a full-blown politician. He go just solve the mass. But this mass, if you like, not this mass, now they solve them. Let's just see how it goes.